Hello there. In this video we're going to create a design file template to use within Figma. So I've already opened up a blank file here. So I'm just going to show you some of the stages that I use within my design files. So you have the thumbnail, which is where you can include an image, some basic information about what is included in the design file. The summary. So if you've got a summary of the task that you're carrying out, you can pop that in there. And then we've got wireframes. We've got the designs, any prototypes, and here we've got local components, so components that are local to this file and not part of the design system, and the playground area, so where you can experiment, play with lots of ideas, but it doesn't impact any of the other pages and it keeps everything nice and tidy. So let's start with thumbnail. So I'm going to copy that out. I'm going to go over to here where it says page 1, and I'm going to double click and I'm going to rename that thumbnail. Go back to my list, I'm going to get summary, click on the plus, add the summary in there. And now I'm going to add a bit of a line break here. So I want this file to have a little bit of structure. So let's add some lines in there as a line break. Right, our next page is going to be for more design related. So we'll put the wireframes in there. And we will also put the designs in there. Then what we'll do is we'll copy this, create another page, add that little line break there so it breaks up each of these sections. And now we're going to add a section for prototypes. So click on the plus, new page, prototypes. Going to add another line break in here, and because that's gone above it, I'm actually going to drag that beneath it. So hold, click and drag. There's a line break. Click on the plus, go back to my list. So now we've got local components and playground. So there we go, local components. And now add one final page for playground. So to make it a little bit more fun and make these pages stand out, you could use on your keyboard, if you're using a Mac, Control Command Space and get the emojis, and say for playground we could add a football icon. For designs, Control Command Space, if I just type in design, or if I do it a different way and type in paint, can add in that, and feel free to add in any additional emojis for the other sections that you have. Okay, so let's go into thumbnail and actually tell you what you could use the thumbnail for. So I'm going to click on frame and I'm going to click on desktop 1440 by 1024. That creates a frame for me, so let's just rename this thumbnail. And inside the thumbnail I'm going to include a title, so a title of the issue that I'm working on. Just bring that down. I'm going to add a description. Drop that down a little bit. Okay. And then I could potentially add an image that's related to the task, so if there's any images you can drop in there, and maybe finally you would want to add in any related, if you're using Jira or a different kind of task management system, just add in any related tickets here. This is very rough, but you get the idea of what we can use this for. So if you click on the frame, right click and then go down to set as thumbnail. Now if I go back out to my files, now as you can see here, I know my file is untitled at the moment, but as you can see it's set this frame, the thumbnail, as the preview for the file. So when you've got hundreds of files in Figma, it just makes it a lot easier at a glance to see which file relates to which task. So it's a useful little tip there for you. So back into the file, that's the thumbnail. Into the summary, I would probably add a summary of the task, any related information, descriptions, any useful information that you can put in there. So you can put all your wireframes in this section here, keep them nice and separate. And in the designs page is where you can put your designs that are more final and more polished. Scrolling down again, we've got prototypes, so you could copy out from your designs page into the prototypes page, and you could then create the flow and all the interactions using the prototype feature within Figma. Local components, I would probably create a frame in here, and I would put any local components that are being used in the other pages, so you can keep it nice and organized. So maybe add a frame called local components, and set an auto layout on it. And then as you add different components to the file, so it keeps it nice and organized and you can see where everything is. And the playground, well, the playground is a good place to experiment with some designs. So if you've got things like lots of different files, you could kind of cluster them in different sections. So if you had some designs related to a home page, maybe you could cluster them over here and just archive them off. Another page maybe to do with like the checkout, you could put them in there but just group them. It's a place where you can experiment. It doesn't have to be too clean and too tidy, but it's a good idea to have a playground area so you're not cluttering up any of the other pages. So what I would do next with this file is I would save this in a location in Figma, and each time I get given a project, I would duplicate this file and then rename it and move it into the relevant folder, and then you have a reusable file and a reusable structure that's consistent every time that you're doing a design task. So you've got your thumbnail, your summary, your wireframes, designs, prototypes, local components, and your playground. You don't have to use all of these pages. You may want to rename them, you may want to add more pages, and you may want to add less pages. But if you have a template per project that you get, you can just remove the pages that are not relevant. So if I was only doing a wireframe project, I would probably delete out the pages for designs, prototypes, just to make the file a bit cleaner when people are looking at it. So I hope this video was helpful to you. Like and subscribe, add some comments, and I will see you in the next video.